Something very strange happened to humanity. We built the most advanced cities in history, only to end up eating alone in front of a screen.
This is Nardo blooming your soul.
With Nardo.
Human beings have never had this much access to each other, and yet real connection has never felt this difficult. Some people receive hundreds of messages every day and still feel invisible, surrounded by millions of people, yet emotionally isolated. And maybe the real modern crisis is not economic, not technological, not even political. Maybe the real crisis is that millions of human beings no longer feel emotionally connected to anywhere. For thousands of years, human beings lived in small communities. People knew your story. They noticed when you were sad, when you were sick, when something inside you was not okay. Human survival depended on connection. Now look at modern cities. Millions of people living on top of each other without even knowing their neighbors' names. Thousands entering trains in complete silence, looking at screens, avoiding eye contact, disconnected even while surrounded by people. We build cities incredibly efficient at moving bodies, but deeply inefficient at supporting human souls. And somehow, this started feeling normal. People perform life. Modern life turned human beings into emotional performers. People no longer live. They manage perceptions. They perform happiness, perform success, perform emotional stability. Social media pushed this to another level. Now people compare their real lives to an edited version of everyone else's lives. Someone can be crying at night and posting perfect photos the next morning. And honestly, I think millions of people are exhausted from pretending they're okay. Not physically exhausted, psychologically exhausted, spiritually exhausted. The modern world discovers something extremely profitable. A distracted person consumes more. That's why we live surrounded by constant stimulation. Infinite scrolling, notifications, fast content, advertising, noise, comparison, instant dopamine. Because as long as someone stays distracted enough, they never have to comfort the emptiness inside them. And maybe that's why silence started feeling uncomfortable. Some people can no longer sit alone for 5 minutes without reaching for their phone. Not because they are weak, but because the modern nervous system was trained to depend on constant stimulation. Emotionally starved. The human brain never evolved to live like this. For most of human history, people lived surrounded by nature, ritual, family, and direct human connection. Now many spend more time with algorithms than with real emotional intimacy. And the body is reacting to it. Chronic anxiety, attention problems, insomnia, emotional numbness, mental exhaustion. Not because human beings suddenly became broken, but because civilization evolved faster than the human mind could accept. And maybe what we now call burnout is emotional starvation. Ancient civilizations understood something modern society forgot. Human beings need ritual. Not only religion, ritual. Eating together, gathering together, listening to stories, singing, celebrating, crying together, sitting in silence together. These practices did not exist only because of tradition. They helped regulate human emotions. They created identity. They built belonging. Even temples were not only spiritual places, they were emotional anchors for communities. Places where people remembered, I'm not alone, I'm not broken, I belong somewhere. And honestly, I think modern humanity deeply misses that feeling. That's why spirituality is quietly returning, not necessarily as rigid religion, but a search of meaning. People are tired of hyperconsumption, tired of feeling empty after endless stimulation, tired of superficial relationships, tired of living constantly overstimulated. And that emptiness explains why so many people are searching for meditation, prayer, philosophy, nature, community, silence, depth, God. Because deep down, maybe people are no longer searching for entertainment. They are searching for presence, something real enough to make them feel human again. And maybe this is the real crisis of our era. Humanity learned how to build intelligent systems without learning how to protect the emotional health of the people living inside them. We built giant cities, but forgot community. We built instant communication, but destroyed intimacy. We built entire economies around capturing attention, while millions of people silently lost their sense of meaning. And maybe the most terrifying part is this: millions of people no longer even remember what genuine human connection feels like. I don't think humanity only needs more productivity, more technology, more content, more optimization. I think humanity needs emotional reconnection with other people, with silence, with meaning, with presence, with God, with feeling human again. Because maybe the greatest tragedy of modern civilization is not that people suffer, is that millions suffer surrounded by people, while feeling completely alone inside. And maybe the future will not belong to those who distract humanity the most, but to those who remind humanity how to feel human again. What do you think humanity is truly missing today?